If you wanted to use my tips and tricks and what I talked about in number 1, talking about rural development, and you get to your lender to shop for your mortgage after you're under contract for that house, you might have missed that boat and not be able to go back. Do you want to buy a house and get a mortgage with no money out of pocket? Because if you do, today's video is for you. Make sure you check it out. For your one-stop shop of anything and everything mortgage education, you have come to the right place. I drop new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time a new video drops. My name is Stephanie Weeks, and I've been a loan officer for 17 years. My mission is to spread mortgage peace by sharing my knowledge to help you better understand the mortgage process, get the best deal, and all that kind of fun stuff. I bet you're wondering why in the world you should be listening to me, and how do I have the authority or the knowledge to even speak on this? Well, I have been doing this for 17 years as a loan officer. I've helped thousands and thousands of customers with their mortgage financing. And I've got really, really great testimonials. Check some of those out online. I'm so blessed to have some fabulous testimonials and a ton of 5-star reviews. I have broken today's video down in 5 segments. That's going to be, we're going to talk about a USDA RD loan, also called Rural Development, which I can never say correctly. Number 2, VA loans. Number 3, potential grants. Number 4, potential bond money. And number 5, I'm actually going to share with you some tips and tricks. So stay tuned because I've got the scoop. The first thing we're going to talk about is RD. That is USDA RD loan, also called Rural Development Loan. It is a 100% program, which means you do not have to put down payment. You still get a fantastic interest rate. You can have a credit score that's not great. This is changing all the time, so you need to check with your lender. But honestly, an excellent credit score is above 740. I find the average credit score to be around a 680. And with an RD loan, you can a lot of times get a loan with a 640. That's pretty low, so that's pretty impressive. And still get a great interest rate and not put any money down. You have a funding fee up front. I believe it's very minimal considering what you get, and it's financed into the loan. You also do have monthly mortgage insurance as well. That is for the life of the loan, but again, it is minimal in the scheme of things, and it's declining annually as your balance goes down. So that's a huge, huge plus. And the PMI is the lowest of some of the programs. It's a really, really great program. And to even sweeten the pot even more, you can even negotiate the seller to pay the majority, if not all, of your closing cost. I have many examples where you're able to get enough from the seller to pay closing cost that you might buy a house not only with no money down, as the topic of the video is, but on top of that, no money down, no down payment, and with the seller covering most of your closing cost. I have had many people get into homes with $1,000 or less. Yes, awkward silence on purpose. $1,000 or less. If you go to rent an apartment or a house and it's $1,000 a month, what do you have to pay? First month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit? I'm guessing, I don't know, but that's $2,500. So yes, I am telling you that if you play your cards right, you can approve for an RD loan. You negotiate the seller to cover your closing costs, that you could buy a house for $1,000 out of pocket when it might have costed you $2,500 out of pocket to go rent a place. That's pretty darn awesome. That is the first topic for today, RD, with getting a mortgage with no money down. We are moving on to number 2 next. Number 2, we're going to talk about a VA loan. Veterans, if you're watching, thank you for your service. Thank you so much for your service. A VA loan is, in my opinion, one of the best loans that are available. And oh my gosh, have you earned it? So absolutely, it's amazing. I find, unfortunately, that a lot of times veterans are steered away from using their VA because they have some type of misconception about how it's a lot of paperwork or it's hard to approve for. Yes, it's a lot of paperwork. Yes, it is. But It's not a lot of red tape, and I don't think it's really hard to approve for at all. I'm saying that because with your VA loan, if you qualify, you can have no money down. It's fantastic. No down payment. You have no monthly mortgage insurance. That is strong. That's very strong. That means you can afford more house with VA than you can with other programs. On top of that, VA is much more flexible on your different debt to income ratios and things like that. They're harder in some other areas, but areas you probably wouldn't even notice unless you were a lender, to be honest with you. So it gives you more flexibility in your ratios, maybe qualifying for more house. Depending upon your eligibility, you do pay a funding fee that is rolled into your loan. And that is, nominal, again, in my opinion. Yes, it can be a pretty good percentage. It's a sliding scale. But if you're exempt, you actually don't even pay that fee at all. So that is also very strong as well. I think it's a wonderful program. You can pair this just like with RD. We talked about getting the seller to pay your closing costs and prepaid items. And you can do the same thing with VA. You could very, very likely buy a home using your VA benefit for less money out of pocket than going to rent a place. You have to play your cards right. You've got to negotiate everything right in your contract with regard to the seller assistance in this example. With a VA loan, as I mentioned before, I find that an excellent credit score is 740 or better. An average is running around 680. Of course, most lenders do want you to have a 640. You have to check with your lender. This is a constant changing thing. But sometimes you can have as low as a 600. That was different before COVID with some of those restrictions being even more lenient. But the lowest I've found thus far currently is 600. 620 is even better, 640 is even better. But again, that's pretty low credit in relation to even just the average to still get home financing. Another great option for buying a home, getting a mortgage with no money down. Number 3, potential grants. You want to first, I would say, probably ask your real estate agent because he or she probably has some great information on current and available grants in your specific area. Sometimes the grants are by state. I find most of the time they're by parish or county in different areas. So best resource for that is to check with a real estate agent. Another great resource would be to check with the local housing authority. They can probably point you in the right direction as well. Grants can sometimes be paired with different loans. I have a veteran right now that's utilizing a grant that's available to him paired with his VA loan. I've also had examples where grants were available and paired with an FHA loan or paired with a conventional loan that helped to cover the required down payment, either some or all of it in different cases, when paired with those loans. Because it's area specific, again, you want to check with your local housing authority, check with your real estate agent, but a grant paired with different types of mortgage loans is another fantastic way for you to try to get into a home for less than you can rent a place and to get into a mortgage with no money down. Number 4, potential bond money. Bond money is different than a grant, and bond money is also different than like a conventional FHA, VA, or RD mortgage. Bond money is very specific. It is available in different areas. It's not always around, sometimes it is, and it's an actual just allocation of money that once the funds are used, the bond money's gone. The best way to find out if bond is available where you're purchasing is to check with your local housing authority, to check with your local real estate agents. And I did leave this off in the grant section just before this, but another thing for you to check for the grants or the bond money is going to be your local lender. They can help point you in the direction and give you more specific information on programs available where bond money might help you to purchase a home and get a mortgage with no money down. Number 5, last but not least, I'm going to cover some tips and some tricks. Number 1, keep a close eye on your credit. The better credit you have, the more options that you have. pay your bills on time, make sure to keep your balances low in relation to limits on your revolving accounts. Don't let things go on a collection or charge off, things like that. So keep your credit in good standing. The other thing, please shop for your mortgage before. I wish I had one of those big, like, what's it called? I don't know. Those big things when you're like screaming at people in the sports and stuff, whatever those things are called, whatever that's called. I wish I was holding that right now to say, please shop for your mortgage before you shop for your home. If you wanted to use my tips and tricks and what I talked about in number 1, talking about rural development, and you get to your lender to shop for your mortgage after you're under contract for that house, you might have missed that boat and not be able to go back. So please shop for your mortgage before you shop for your house, because your lender is going to be crucial and so intricate in helping you figure out what your closing costs and prepaids might be. That way you can ask the seller for the right amount of help that you need to make sure that you can buy a home and that you can get a mortgage with no money out of pocket. I am putting a link today in the description below for you, and it's going to be my cheat sheet download on different mortgage types. Today we talked about RD and we talked about VA, but there are other types as well. So I think this cheat sheet, and I hope this cheat sheet will be helpful. Type yes in the comments below if you feel like you have a better idea of how to get a mortgage and if one of these mortgages might actually work well for you that we've discussed today. Or one of these options, shall I say, because we also talked about grants. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. I hope you've hit the bell to be notified. I hope that you like some of these other videos that I'm going to drop links to here today. And I would love to connect with you on social media. My Insta handle is _therealStephanieWeeks. My website is stephanieweeks.com. And my Twitter is @LoneLady_Steph. @LoneLady_Steph. Thank you. See you in the next one.